Can you imagine a student arriving at school hungry, without breakfast or lunch, unable to concentrate in class? Can you imagine a student without vital resources like textbooks and stationaries? Can you imagine a student absent for more than 50% of the academic term due to poverty? Unfortunately, this is the reality for many students across the country. Poverty, an invisible barrier that is negatively affecting inclusive and quality education. Let's take a look at these trending videos highlighting these issues in our school system.
Morning. Morning, miss.
Morning.
Come.
Morning.
Thank you, miss. Good day.
I'm sorry, but that was the last one. So we get something in coffee to eat now?
But right now I can't, I have no money right now.
You have no money? Good to you.
I'm going to collect money for the field trip next week, Thursday.
Yeah, money. So, yeah, no, it's not the future.
You don't have money.
Some boys would like to go? Right, stop right there. Hi, got no more room, sorry.
Hi girls, so you all gonna do your place first week. You have to create a project, right? You're all in groups of 5. You'll create a model of a volcano, right? So you're gonna need your modeling clay and so on to form the volcano, and then you're gonna need your laptop as well, or your computer, because you're going to have to present the volcano with a storyline, right? So in groups of 5, you all could come up with your own groups and we will go from there. Thanks.
Can I be in all with you?
No.
Why not?
We have a set members just on here.
Okay.
I really like Shane. She don't wear she's so uniform. She never submitted work. She never here. No. And she never contributed nothing. And she will.
Welcome to Brewing Better Schools. I am your host Vanessa, and today, with my fellow colleagues, we will be addressing the issue of exclusion in education due to socio-economic status. Let's see how key stakeholders, the principal, teachers, and social worker can create a more inclusive environment for all students. The Ministry of Education's Inclusive Education Policy 2009, in alignment with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and UNESCO's Education for All, states that all children, regardless of their physical, intellectual, social, emotional, or other conditions, are entitled to schooling and an opportunity to be supported by the state. This includes children from remote and impoverished populations. Let's begin the discussion with the person we, as teachers, look to for guidance. Ravi, what do you think our principals can do to promote inclusion?
Well, Vanessa, principals are leaders of schools and are therefore agents of change. As Aristotle stated, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Principals can use this philosophy to address poverty in rural and urban schools by fostering an environment that imparts knowledge, but also builds empathy, compassion, and social responsibility among students, teachers, and the wider school community. Empathy-driven initiatives such as peer support groups and kindness campaign reduce discrimination, encouraging that students from low-income families feel included and valued can help to reduce absenteeism and promote diversity. In addition, Paulo Freire's philosophy, pedagogy of the oppressed, emphasizes education as a tool for liberation and empowerment. This can guide principals to adopt strategies to address inequity.
So Ravi, what strategy can be used to address inequity in schools?
Well, through ethical leadership, principals can begin by reviewing the management of current support systems funded by the government. For example, the school feeding program and the free transport initiatives.
Yes, Ravi, I definitely agree. So these support systems are provided, however, they are not equally distributed. So we know there is the needs assessment form, which is currently used to figure out the number of students to cater for. However, the number of breakfasts and lunches distributed sometimes aren't enough.
True. Therefore, principals in the rural areas can collaborate with government agencies, non-government organizations, multinational, and local corporate organizations to secure financial contributions towards providing an increased number of meals served per day so that no student goes hungry. Financial contributions can also be invested in the transport system to accommodate more students and to relocate drop-off locations closer to students' homes.
So in other words, the principal's mission is to ensure students have free access to the support systems.
Yes, and this can alleviate attendance and hunger challenges. Do you know the National School Feeding Program in Jamaica ensures that students in low-income areas receive at least one nutritious meal a day? Research from the Caribbean Policy Research Institute highlights its positive impact on attendance and academic performance. Also, principals can promote a resource assistance program. Presently, the Ministry of Education allocates funding to both urban and rural schools. However, this is insufficient to pay for all the school's expenses and provide the necessary resources needed for equity. Based on the number of poverty-stricken students, principals in rural areas can advocate from the Ministry of Education increased funding and equitable resource allocation as opposed to those in urban areas.
Yes, but the government have no money.
True. Therefore, principals of rural schools can partner with local businesses, community members, past students, and NGOs to donate uniforms, textbooks, stationery, laptop, and other supplies to students in need. Principals of rural schools can adopt the strategies used by principals of urban or denominational schools, such as collaborating with their alumni associations or PTAs to organize fundraisers. By building strong partnerships with these groups, additional resources and support can be generated. Promoting resource sharing results in equitable access to education. These initiatives can improve the academic achievement of students who are in need of school resources.
So in implementing this, I think that empowering teachers and students is key. According to various principles which you mentioned before, principals in both urban and rural areas should advocate for democratic decision making, which would ensure that the voices of teachers and students shape policies and programs.
So you're saying that the present administrative system is more centralized?
Yes, of course it is. So this approach will now empower students from disadvantaged backgrounds to have a say in decisions that principals can implement via policies that will reflect their needs. So you know, in Finland's education system, they emphasize teacher autonomy and student voice in school policies. According to the OECD Education Policy Outlook in 2018, this approach has resulted in higher student satisfaction and performance across all socio-economic backgrounds.
It's also important to note that principals of urban and rural schools can promote justice through school policies to foster inclusivity. For example, introducing a no-stigma policy ensures that students from low-income homes feel valued and respected. Avoiding visible economic disparities, such as separating students based on their ability to pay for school activities, fosters inclusivity. Urban and rural principals can implement a policy that promotes equity and inclusivity through appropriate personal items in schools as well. That is the banning of expensive items. Egalitarianism advocates for minimizing visible socio-economic differences in the school setting, which aligns with the restriction of bringing expensive items that could create a sense of competition or exclusion. This could help, especially in urban schools, to remove social segregation.
So what about teachers? What can we do to promote inclusive education in our classrooms?
Well, theoretically, of course, health and family life education covers 4 thematic areas: self and interpersonal relationships, sexuality and sexual health, eating and fitness, and managing the environment. It focuses on health awareness, life skills development, the promotion of healthy relationships, the reduction of social issues like bullying, empowering and supporting families. Our focus is on addressing social issues.
So how can we help to be more inclusive?
Teachers can promote love and belonging by cultivating a strong, supportive relationship with students, which will encourage them to express their emotions and share their experiences within a safe environment, where their ideas and experiences are shared without fear of judgment. This type of social social interaction in learning, promoted by Vygotsky, highlights the role of collaboration experiences, dialogue, and cooperative problem solving in building relationships and strengthening their sense of belonging. Another way is where teachers encourage their students to set individual goals in which they explore their talents through creative projects or presentation. It is also suggested by Vygotsky, ZPV, that students learn best when they are challenged and supported by their peers or educators, fostering an independent and self-actualization, reinforcing confidence and capabilities. HFLE can be used as a tool to help students develop life skills, attitudes, and behaviors that promote healthy social existence, thus reducing absenteeism and segregation.
Research study done by Japan for 2016-2017 based on teachers' review of the learning potential of students in low-income households has shown that the learning potential of students can be strengthened through teacher awareness, but also recognizes the empowering potential of positive relationships in education. It further suggests ways to encourage all students where their strengths and weaknesses are identified and fostered through their learning experiences.
What are some challenges teachers may face?
Good point. Some challenges do arise. This is where teachers face personal disapproval of the topic, the feeling of embarrassment during the lessons, difficulty managing and maintaining their classroom control during specific topics, and the lack of time to implement the curriculum properly.
So as teachers, how do we address these issues?
Teachers may incorporate life skills into their lessons, such as self-esteem, peer pressure, conflict resolution, and stress management. These can help students feel emotionally secure, improve their motivation to attend school, and to help with segregation. Creating a welcoming and engaging classroom environment for students through group work and teaching of lessons through case studies. Fostering open communication with families through PTA and parental requests. Offering flexible support like the teaching of wellness programs in PE or in social studies. Tracking attendance patterns for tailored intervention. Tailoring our teaching instruction through real lessons. Collaborating with school counselors and staff to enhance support network. Promoting social emotional learning, self. Monitoring students' interaction. Professional development. Solicit students' voice and set clear goals for inclusion. We can advocate for these changes by assisting teachers in taking steps towards fostering an inclusion, respectfully and equitable learning environment for all students is needed. Balfoun's and Barnes 2012 research states that available data indicates that while chronic absenteeism is deeply detrimental to educational success, just missing one more week of school can have consequences.
We looked at the two stakeholders before, and we're going to look at our third stakeholder, which will be the school social worker. While the teacher is best placed to identify at-risk students through classroom interactions, and the principal will have access to student biodata, which can help the social worker to further pinpoint whether the cause of the issue is rooted in socio-economic status of the students. According to the Ministry of Education, one of the responsibilities of the school social worker is to assist students and their parents or guardians in overcoming social, emotional, and financial obstacles. Socio-economically disadvantaged students' basic needs such as food, water, shelter, sleep, and security are not met. Therefore, they need urgent help to enable them to attend school regularly and punctually. Only then will the student be able to participate fully in the education process and achieve some level of success as stated in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Depending on the student and the situation, the school social worker will have to make an intervention, starting with conducting interviews with the students and the members of their families. A home visit may be necessary to make a complete assessment of the level of assistance needed to allow the student to be functional in school. The school social worker can assist the family to do a means test to determine which resources can be accessed from state agencies, community resources, and non-governmental organizations.
So modeling Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a social worker helps bridge the gap between the child and their needs. So to help this and to further inclusivity, social workers can help by organizing food and clothing drives. As you mentioned before, of the many challenges low-income households face is the lack of basic food supplies. Though there is the school feeding program implemented in school, children also need to be fed at home. To remedy this, the school social worker can develop charitable programs in their schools where teachers and students can donate food and clothing items to be discreetly distributed to those in need. While this may pose a challenge for the local communities in the rural areas, wider communities can also be invited to take part in this initiative in helping our students feel more included when their needs are met. And I think that meeting these fundamental needs help our students focus on learning rather than on basic survival. Research from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities indicates that when families are able to meet basic needs such as food, housing, and medical care, the stress levels of parents decrease. This reduction enables parents to better support their children's growth and development, which contributes to their success in the long run. On a deeper and more concrete basis, it may be proposed that the school social worker can bring more awareness to the various free short courses available through the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. Some of these include baking, mechanics, event planning, videography, etc. Enrolling in these courses will allow the parents or guardians to develop skill sets necessary in order to secure a job or even start a home business. In time, this will help bring income into their homes, whether it be as a business owner or a side job. This income can now be budgeted to facilitate the purchase of food supplies and transport for the student. Although advertising their businesses may prove difficult, especially if they lack technological resources, the school may be able to assist in sending out digital flyers to the PTA and the community, or by simply printing the flyers to be given out within the community to assist them in growing their business. In another investigation, the non-profit organization MBRC shows that implementing programs specifically designed to reduce the basic needs insecurity of these students, such as housing, safety, food, and water, has a positive impact on their success. To address safety concerns according to the hierarchy of needs, school social workers can refer families to housing and financial assistance given by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. One of the most basic needs of a child is a safe environment. Many families that face socio-economic challenges live in structures which may not be ideal. Social workers can connect these families with the relevant organizations such as Ministry of Housing and Urban Development to aid in the procurement of a home or in lending financial assistance to develop their current home to make it into a safer one for themselves and for their children. So a general downside to this is that schools often face inadequate staffing, as we know. So with too few counselors or social workers in between to effectively monitor our kids and address their needs. So to address this, what schools can do is recruit and train volunteer mentors or peer counselors in order to assist and monitor our students.
Us teachers play a vital role in shaping the future by embodying a balance of passion, compassion, and creativity. We as educators are encouraged to lead a wild spirit and change maker. Principles grounded in philosophy should inspire teachers and students through passion, energy, and bold ideas, being creative agents of change in the classroom and society. They can model the transformation they wish to see in the world. We can be the soft and gentle hearts. Teachers and social workers must be empathetic, nurturing, offering students emotional support, and creating a safe environment where they feel valued and understood. Educate minds to imagine and create a better future. Beyond imparting knowledge, teachers should cultivate imaginations and creativity in students, encouraging them to think critically and envision a world that needs to be more inclusive, equitable, and harmonious. The statement, Inclusive Education for All, highlights the importance of an education system that embraces diversity and ensures that all students, regardless of their socio-economic status, abilities, or challenges, have equal access to learning opportunities. Overall, it calls for stakeholders to be the catalyst of change, fostering both intellectual and emotional growth in students to create a more inclusive, fair, and collaborative future.
Brewing better schools.